Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Going Executive Director Show. My name is Brandy and today we are coming from the car. We're actually on our way to our luncheon that we do every Thursday. So I'm going to start us off today and we are going over, well, first off, with the Going Executive Director Show, our purpose is to give you the vision, skills, techniques, inspiration, motivation, and daily activities needed for you to build a solid, profitable business. And we are going over John Maxwell's 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. So I'm going to be looking away here so that way I can keep track of where I'm at. Hey, good morning. So we are on quality number 7, discernment. Put an end to unsolved mysteries. A smart leader believes only half of what they hear, and discerning leaders know which half to believe, and that's by John. The first rule of holes is when you're in one, stop digging. So, I'm gonna find my little notes here. Sorry, we're in the car, so this makes it a little bit harder. So discernment is an indispensable quality for any leader who desires to maximize effectiveness, and it helps to do several important things. And number one is discover the root issues. Leaders of large organizations must cope with tremendous chaos and complexity every single day. So Jeff, would you like to comment on that? No? He's trying to focus on driving, so I will go off of that. So, sorry, I'm trying to read. So there's a lot of responsibility that a leader has to work with each day, and being able to cope with the stress and knowing what to do. Everybody's always looking at you for, okay, what's next? Like, what's the next step? So knowing what to do, and there's a lot of things out there for marketing as well, and knowing what to apply to your organization and what not to apply, because there is a lot of people that are not honest out there, and being able to recognize that is key. Enhancing your problem solving. I heard this from one speaker. They're like, you can judge a man based on how he handles his problems. If something does go crazy or not according to plan, how do you handle it? Do you handle it with a calm head, or do you freak out on everybody? The best thing that you can do is take a deep breath and figure out the process as best as you can. Be like, okay, this didn't go right. What do we need to do to fix it? I see this every day with certain leaders. If something does not go according to plan, they get very, some of them can get mouthy, which can definitely hurt some people. Like, nobody wants to be around that person where if they know you're in a bad mood, or if something didn't go right, they're like, oh, we better stay away from that person now because this happened. You want to be able to handle this with a cool head and be able to sit down and figure it out. All right, number 3, evaluate your options to maximize impact. I kind of touched on that. So what can we do? So discernment enables you to use both of your gut, your head, to find the best option for your people and your organization. Number 4, multiply your opportunities. People who lack discernment are seldom in the right place at the right time. Although great leaders often appear to be lucky to some observers, I believe leaders create their own luck as the result of discernment. That willingness to use their experience and follow their instincts. So a question for you, are you a discerning leader? When facing with a complex issue, can you readily identify the heart of the matter? Are you able to see the root causes of difficult problems without having to get every bit of information? And do you trust your intuition and rely on it as much as your intellect and experience? So Jeff, I will have you bring it home with, to improve your discernment, do the following.
Okay, Dave's watching. What's happening, sir? Michael's on here. Hello. Just kind of scrolling through here. Shamala's here. What's going on? From South Africa. Jen's here. Okay, so really quick. Bringing it home. Discernment. Basically making decisions. That's what it's all about. You have to make decisions, unfortunately, in life. You have to make decisions in business. You have to make decisions in relationships. Especially inside of direct sales and network marketing. If you're going to build a successful business, you're constantly making decisions about when to set up things, when to meet people. You have to make decisions, gut decisions on, being able to ask the right questions at the right time, being able to ask them in order, being able to jump out of order when you need to. What I mean by that is if you have a process, there are certain people that will, because of time, because of schedule, hang you up, and then you have to deal with life things in the middle. How do you keep going? How do you make decisions and keep going when everything isn't working out? When you don't have the right environment or the right people around you, how do you kind of force the issue and make it work? Interesting things, but it says, to improve discernment, the following: analyze your past. So you have to look back and say, okay, what did I do to get to here? What were some things that worked out? Obviously there's always things that work out and work out well. And what are some things that did not work out so well? Because there's always stuff that unfortunately we're all doing that isn't the best idea in the world. How others think. So this comes into personalities. If you're going to make decisions with people, you have to know how they think. Knowing their personality will tell you a lot in how they view that decision, or how they view that objective. The D, the I, the S, the C. If you understand the DISC personalities, you can kind of frame things in a way with each individual person that will help out. You also have to frame kind of the greater picture. So if you're speaking to a group of people and you're going to have all of those personalities in the room, that's something to keep in mind. Listen to your gut. You will get intuition. You will get a feeling of, okay, now is the time. What I found with decisions, and I believe this actually comes from Think and Grow Rich, but they said the average person takes forever to decide and make a decision, and then they seldom or rarely keep that commitment. What are you doing? Oh. Ta-da! We can change the color of the back of the screen. It's so cool. So, actually, it's just brightness. But to be able to do that, what we have to do is understand, who we are, where we are, and what to do. Jim Bailey's with us. What's up, sir? Some people walking in here. So that's really what we have for today is, trusting your gut, knowing what to do, when to do it, when to make the decision. There'll be certain times you just got to go for it. When we're talking about closing, when we're talking about end of the month, rarely, if ever, does it all look promising all the time. Most of life is a guess, is a question mark. That's why you kind of have to have a philosophy of long-term. Where am I trying to get to long-term? Because if you deal with just circumstances as they come up, typically if people deal with circumstances just as they come up and they're making decisions based on the short-term, they end up with really crappy surroundings. But if you make decisions based on long-term, okay, this is not a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for a career. I'm not looking for right now. I'm looking for long-term, a long-term solution. I'm not, the temporary. I'll figure out the temporary so that way I can get to this point where things are settled and stable and I know where I'm at. It's very hard to keep a cool head during all that, but that's kind of the key to making it all work. So with that, Andrew, what's happening? With that, that's our show for today, discernment, making decisions. I was going into Think and Grow Rich. So Think and Grow Rich says the average person takes forever to make a decision. And once they make a decision, they usually change their mind often. Whereas successful people will make decisions very quickly. And the reason successful people are able to make decisions quickly is because they already know their long-term path. They already know where they're headed. They already know who they want around them. They already know the direction they're going. They already know their schedule. They already know what fits in and what doesn't. So what I found is successful people, when you're able to share something with them, especially when you're talking about joining something, they're able to make a decision usually very quickly. The reason being is they usually already have the money. They usually already have the contacts. So really it's not so much can they, it's will they. They could, but do they know, like, and trust you? Do they feel that you were clear? Do they feel that you were concise? Do they feel that you were confident? And do they feel that you will be consistent at what you're telling them that you're going to do? So it's taken a long time to basically build what I would consider the reputation of the character, that when I come in and I'm presenting to certain people, they're like, oh, if you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Now, I didn't grow up like that at all. That took a long time to figure out how to do. And what I mean a long time to figure out how to do is I grew up, basically everything was circumstantial, based on the weather, based on the day, based on, the mood of my mom at that time, was it able to go out or not go up. I grew up, my mom was a single teacher. So if my mom was in a good mood, everything was going cool, we could go out. If my mom was in a bad mood, having a bad day, she might have said yes to everything the day before, and today everything's no. So dealing with that up and down, I never learned a lot of these principles. So I kind of went out and messed it up. And that's why it took me 10 years to kind of get myself right and understand how this all worked to be able to move forward. So appreciate everybody for jumping on. I hope that helps. Tomorrow's a good one. Tomorrow, Friday, we're actually going over focus. Follow one course until successful. So that's what we're catching tomorrow. I appreciate everybody jumping on. Jerry's here. What's happening? Thank you so much. And we're going to jump over to our other show, the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show, here right now. Thank you so much. Dave Peters is watching. Thank you.